Africa is a place of incredible beauty, where every sunrise and sunset tells a different story, and every horizon promises something new. It's more than just a single story or image. Africa is a tapestry woven from countless cultures, languages, and traditions, each adding its own vibrant thread. Imagine sunsets that paint the sky in colors you didn't know existed, lions roaming the Serengeti, and the wild calling out in the cool evening air. And then there are the Drakensberg Mountains, their peaks reaching up to touch the clouds, standing as ancient guardians over the land. The energy is everywhere. In Marrakesh's bustling markets, where every corner bursts with color, sound, and the aroma of spices. You'll find it in the rhythm of Ghana's village drums, echoing through the night, bringing people together in celebration and unity. But Africa's true strength is its people, their warmth, resilience, and unbreakable spirit. It's the spirit of Ubuntu, I am because we are, a philosophy that shapes communities and hearts alike. You see it in children's laughter, in elders' wisdom passed down through generations, and in the bonds that hold families and neighbors together. In communities that thrive against the odds, people work side by side, building futures from hope and determination. This is a continent of resilience and innovation, where challenges are met with creativity and courage. Here, talent often waits for its moment to shine, nurtured by dreams and fueled by ambition. Africa has given the world so much: music, art, ideas, even when the world wasn't watching or listening. This story isn't just about beauty. It's about brilliance that grows from this rich soil, nourished by history and hope. It's about innovators who didn't wait for permission, who saw possibility where others saw obstacles. They built solutions with their own hands and minds, turning dreams into reality through sheer determination. These are stories of people who saw problems and became the answer, inspiring those around them to do the same. Genius isn't limited to one corner of the world. It's everywhere, in every village and city on this vibrant continent waiting to be discovered. Let's talk about two such innovators. One, a scholar who fought for Africa's past, preserving its stories and wisdom. The other, a boy who built a future for his village, using his imagination and resourcefulness to change lives. Their stories are different, but both show the power of curiosity, determination, and the will to make a difference. They prove that seeds of brilliance, when given a little light and care, can grow into something truly magnificent, changing not just their own lives, but the world around them. Meet Cheikh Anta Diop, a Senegalese scholar whose bold ideas challenged the world's view of Africa and its history. Born in 1923, Diop grew up in a Senegalese village, surrounded by a tapestry of rich culture, oral traditions, and a deep sense of heritage. Even as a child, he sensed that the world's story about Africa was incomplete, and often simply wrong. Driven by curiosity, he studied everything he could: physics, chemistry, history, and linguistics, seeking answers in both science and the humanities. His mission? To prove that Africa was home to great civilizations, and that ancient Egypt, with all its wonders, was truly African at its core. At the time, this was a radical idea. Mainstream history books separated Egypt from Africa, denying its black roots and erasing connections to the continent. Diop used science as his weapon, determined to restore dignity and pride to his continent through rigorous research and evidence.
Imagine the courage it took to stand up for Africa's history, knowing the odds were stacked against him. He traveled to Europe, challenging the world's top scholars in their own institutions, often facing skepticism and outright hostility. He faced ridicule and rejection, but he never gave up. His resilience inspired others to question the status quo. Diop wasn't just fighting for academic recognition. He was fighting for Africa's legacy and for the truth to be told. He spent years gathering evidence, poring over ancient texts, and conducting scientific tests to back up his claims. He was a detective of history, searching for clues others ignored, piecing together a narrative that had been lost. Diop believed that knowing the truth about Africa's past would inspire a greater future, empowering new generations to dream bigger. His work wasn't just about the past, it was about paving the way forward, giving hope and pride to millions. He planted a seed of pride and self-worth that would grow for generations, changing the way Africans saw themselves. Diop's determination and scholarship changed the way the world saw Africa, opening doors for new research and understanding. He proved that history could be reclaimed, and that reclaiming it truly mattered for the future of a continent.
How did Diop do it? He brought hard science to the debate. He used melanin tests on Egyptian mummies, showing they had black African ancestry. He connected ancient Egyptian language to modern West African languages, revealing a hidden family tree. Diop cited ancient Greek historians who described Egyptians as black Africans. He exposed how colonialism rewrote history to justify racism. His multidisciplinary approach, combining science, linguistics, and history, was groundbreaking. Diop showed African history deserved serious scientific study. He gave future generations the tools to uncover their own heritage. Diop was a true pioneer, changing the rules of the game. Diop's work was revolutionary. It gave Africans a history to be proud of. He connected them to the pyramids, pharaohs, and a legacy of science and art. This knowledge fueled independence movements and psychological liberation. His books became essential reading for thinkers and activists.
His ideas spread worldwide, inspiring the Black Power and civil rights movements. Diop's research built a sense of global Black identity and pride. Universities now have Africana Studies departments thanks to his foundation. He inspired countless scholars and artists to explore African history. Diop taught us that history shapes who we are and what we believe is possible. He didn't just rewrite the past, he empowered millions to reimagine their future.
Now our story moves from the halls of academia to a small village in Malawi. This is about a different kind of genius, one born in a dusty field during hardship. It's the story of a boy who, faced with darkness, created his own light.
I looked at what I had and thought maybe I can help my family.
Like Diop, this boy saw a problem and built a solution. He had curiosity, determination, and a pile of junk. Diop fought for a proud past. This boy fought for a hopeful future. Both challenged what was possible, proving that African ingenuity endures. Let's meet William Kamkwamba, the boy who saw possibility in a pile of garbage. William Kamkwamba was born in 1987 in rural Malawi, where life depended on the rain. In 2001, a devastating famine struck, forcing William to drop out of school at 14.
I was hungry for knowledge, so I went to a tiny library and read everything I could.
One day, he found a book called It Showed Windmills Could Generate Electricity and Pump Water. William's village had no electricity. Water was hard to come by.
I thought if I could build a windmill, I could help my family.
The idea became an obsession. He dreamed of a windmill that could bring light and water to his home. It was a bold dream for a boy with no resources or formal training. But William had vision and determination. He didn't just want to light his room. He wanted to fight famine and change his family's future. William's journey was about more than invention. It was about hope. He set out to build a miracle from scraps. Against all odds, he was determined to make it real. This is how a dream began to take flight. William turned to the scrapyard, searching for parts to build his windmill. The yard was a maze of broken machines and forgotten tools. But to William, it was a treasure trove of possibilities. Each piece of discarded metal or wood held the promise of something new, something that could change his life and the lives of those around him.
My neighbors thought I was crazy, but I had a plan in my head. They watched from a distance, whispering and shaking their heads, but I knew what I wanted to achieve, even if no one else could see it yet. He built a wooden tower from blue gum trees, crafted blades from PVC pipes, and used a bicycle dynamo as a generator. Every part was carefully chosen, every connection made with patience and hope. Every piece was salvaged, every solution improvised. Nothing came easy, and nothing was wasted. The process was full of trial and error. Things broke, designs failed, but I never gave up. Each setback taught me something new, and every failure brought me closer to success. He learned mechanics and electronics by experimenting in his backyard. With every experiment, his understanding grew and his confidence followed. He took bearings from an old maze grinder, built a circuit breaker from a nail and magnet. Even the smallest parts found new purpose in his hands. For every problem, he invented a solution. Creativity became his greatest tool, and necessity his constant teacher. Finally, the day came to test his creation. The whole family gathered, holding their breath, hoping for a miracle. William climbed the tower, connected the wires, and waited for the wind. The moment was tense, filled with anticipation and silent prayers. The blades spun, and a small light bulb flickered to life. That single spark of light was proof that his dream could become reality. In the darkness of my village, That tiny light was a miracle. It was hope shining through the night, a symbol of what was possible. He had captured the wind and brought light to his home. The impossible had become possible, and his family celebrated this new beginning. William proved that determination could create something from nothing. His journey inspired others to believe in their own ideas, no matter how impossible they seemed. His windmill was more than a machine. It was hope made real. It stood as a beacon for his village, a reminder that dreams can take flight. He showed what's possible when you refuse to give up, and how one idea built from scraps can light up the world.
That first light bulb was just the beginning. William's windmill powered 4 bulbs and charged phones, transforming his family's life.
The neighbors who called me crazy now lined up to charge their phones. The windmill became a symbol of hope for the whole village. William built a second, taller windmill to power a water pump, irrigating his family's garden. For the first time, they could grow food year-round and sell extra at the market.
Word spread, first in the village, then across Malawi.
William's story reached the world. He spoke at a TED conference, inspiring thousands. He became a local hero, showing that education and innovation can happen anywhere.
I used my success to help build a new school with science labs and internet access. William wasn't just building windmills, he was building a better future for his community. His story proved that one determined person can change everything. He turned adversity into opportunity, lighting the way for others. William's windmill was a beacon of possibility.
Cheikh Anta Diop and William Kamkwamba. 2 men, 2 worlds, 1 message. Diop fought for Africa's past. William built a future from scraps.
Both were driven to solve problems, one with intellect, one with invention.
Both refused to accept the world as it was.
Genius isn't limited by geography or resources. It's a seed in every human being. All it needs is a chance, a library, a teacher, a pile of scraps, or encouragement.
Their stories aren't just about Africa, they're for the whole world. They remind us to look for brilliance in unexpected places.
Africa doesn't need saving. It's full of innovators already building their own futures. The seeds of brilliance are there, planted in rich soil. All we have to do is make sure they get enough sun to grow. That's the real story of Africa. Beauty, resilience, and unstoppable genius.